We are all here because we care about education. Some want to censure Commissioner Shu, but what will that accomplish? It won't close the achievement gap. It won't reduce chronic absenteeism. Once you've fired the messenger, does the message stop being true? Here we are again, wasting district time on performative anti-racism. I support Commissioner Shu. Don't censure her. She is not the problem. Chronically absent students are less likely to read a grade level, less likely to graduate, more likely to end up
Shut up!
Racism is everywhere and it's institutionalized. We cannot really be racist because racism is prejudice plus power. Nothing I say up here nor anywhere in the world will impact stop front.
All right. Welcome back once again to the beatzillapdx official news break. And today we are talking about this Diane Yap woman who recently you guys might have seen that there was a civil rights meeting and commission held talking about Stop Asian Crime and Asian Hate, which they blatantly ignored the gross difference in statistics when it comes down to hate crimes being carried out in America, that there is no one in any near shadow of comparison to Black victims in America. And so when we're talking about hate crimes and sentiment and anti this and anti that, sometimes you get little racists that sneak in. And what you see on the screen, I played that video yesterday and I might play it again today for the sake of the conversation. Is this how the civil rights work should be honored? Because these people are in this country thanks to the Black folks, the foundational Black Americans, and those that were with them to get civil rights and to get to open up these accesses that all of these other immigrant groups enjoy. By the way, foundational Black Americans are absolutely not immigrants, if you didn't know. But with that being said, let's take a look and let's get into what this woman had to say.
Dates COVID. The 2018 Criminal Victimization Report by the Bureau of Justice Statistics shows violent incidents by race of victim and offender. The largest share. Nothing else about
Oh,
him.
my bad. Let me go back.
Against Asians predates COVID. The 2018 Criminal Victimization Report by the Bureau of Justice Statistics shows violent incidents by race of victim and offender. The largest share, 27.5%, are perpetrated by Black offenders.
See how that works? And that's absolutely not true. And the numbers do not show it. They've had Pew researchers and FBI statistics that do not substantiate this woman's story. She's using statistics that come from like Stormfront. And by the way, a little known fact about this woman here, she is down with Charlie Rufo, the anti-CRT guy. And she's also down with the Manhattan Project. So these people are inherently, overtly anti-Black, and they have been coming amongst us with this nonsense. And these type of people are in our neighborhoods with great disdain. This is another problem with the immigration situation. And You know, this is another part of that burning house.
While Asians commit just 0.1% of such attacks against Black victims.
No, we've seen quite a bit. Now, they just might not be getting called hate attacks when you have all of these videos of sisters getting beat up in nail salons and grocery stores and convenience stores and stuff like that. I don't think so, ma'am.
If all those living nearby were equally likely to attack Asians, Blacks are attacking Asians at more than 3 times the expected rate. The average Asian lives in a neighborhood that's just 8% Black.
However, their businesses are absolutely 100% centered in Black communities. That's not a demonstration of fear. That is not a demonstration of feeling in danger. That's a demonstration of comfort.
On the other hand, white and Hispanic people are attacking Asians at about half the expected rate.
Okay. See, now notice white and Hispanic. Remember what I said about that other video the other day when they were talking about all of these groups? And I said, notice who they left out. They left out immigrants. And so what she just did, if you didn't catch that, she lumped in the Hispanics with the Asians and whites. So what she is doing is singling out Black people, which we already know these people do, but let's listen.
This is not new. A 2008 analysis on physical assault crimes in San Francisco showed that in 85% of cases, the victim was Asian and the perpetrators were African American.
Not true. That is not true. 85% is not even true. 85% of cases that were publicized in the New York Post. Maybe that might be true, but I don't think that those numbers are not. And not to mention, those are not Black perpetrators. Those are Black immigrant perpetrators. So again, this is the whole point of, I guess, the OMB. And the OMB, of course, is pulling an okey doke. I'm glad that people are starting to kind of understand. You wouldn't even have had, that's what I said from the jump about the OMB. You wouldn't even have that situation had we not been making progress in the first place. That was a tool to say, hey, let's see if we can get people wrapped up in bureaucracy. No, cut the check. And you'll see this is actually what she is harping on. It takes her a while to get there, but trust me, family, this is what she is absolutely on.
Sadly, government policymakers and media outlets do not want to acknowledge that Black on Asian violence is a problem. And
Wrong. You have a lot of right-wing media. What you're asking for is the other media to lie on Black people. Right? And then all of this violence that's coming from Black folks, and this is all a Black thing, right?
Racial resentment is at the root of the problem. This resentment is well explained by the middleman minority concept. Immigrants who occupy a low barrier niche in the economy like retail and via punishing work schedules and self-sacrifice ascend from poverty to prosperity, often within one generation. Middleman minorities have faced violence throughout history because native populations of lower status feel entitled to the same.
Lower status. Natives have lower status. Well, that's a problem now, isn't it? I hope y'all are listening, Black people, because don't get it confused. Just because she's Asian does not mean that she doesn't also represent Black immigrants. That's your representation, and they don't actually represent you. Let's go on. Well, actually, let me just go back because I want you to harp in on what she just said and what she's saying. This is so you can put your business in our neighborhood. And then when we say, you know what, we're not going to be mistreated or disrespected, so we're going to stop patronizing your businesses. Oh man, oh, these microaggressions. No, you cannot disrespect us. And look at what she says about black folk.
Ascend from poverty to prosperity, often within one generation. Middleman minorities have faced violence throughout history because native populations of lower status feel entitled to the same outcomes. Today's expectation of equal outcomes can be summarized by one word: equity. The repetition of this term in policy discussions implies that all outcomes should be doled out proportionately amongst different racial groups, regardless of relative.
No, ma'am. See, and this is where you get this dishonest, lying devilry from all of these anti-black individuals. I keep expressing this fact. White supremacy's religion is Satanism. And Satanism is overtly anti-black. Always has been. And yes, there are plenty of black people. Well, no, melanated people. So when I say black, I do specifically address those black people that ended up in America. So all the way from the ancient times to now, this particular family has an issue with the rest of these people. And there are a lot of melanated people because melanin is not a connection. Blood is. Blood is your connection, not your damn skin color. Let's make sure we understand that. So when we say foundational Black American, we are not talking race-based policy. Foundational Black American is the title of the lineage to which policy is owed. I hope I cleared that up for the simple.
Relevant factors such as behavior. But
behavior.
We should expect.
See, now she's trying to go into this black pathology type of deal. It sounds very much like Jared Taylor.
Rolled out proportionately amongst different racial groups, regardless of relevant factors such as behavior. But we should expect proportionate outcomes only if these are assigned at random. But police don't arrest people at random. Courts don't imprison people at random. The government does not randomly force anyone to drop out of high school, nor does it randomly assign anyone to a life of poverty.
Actually, the government has done all of those things. And it's very well documented in American history, in state history, in city history. I can speak for myself, and I'm in a very, very, very white place. So I know all of these other places that have all of these loads and droves of black folks got to have some of that history on the books there too. If us all the way up in the Northwest, we got this understanding, we got these facts. I mean, hell, we got York. You know, so there is a very much history, a big history. I mean, we have, there's slave stories from out here of the black slaves and the black recent former slaves, because, you know, Oregon is, the inception of Oregon is kind of late. So they allowed slavery out here for these slaves to build their stuff up. But these people were so racist that they did not even want their slaves to be in the state of Oregon for over 3 years. So you had 3 years as a slave owner to use your slaves up. And then once that 3 years is up, you're supposed to drop them off at the state line and free them. That was literally what Oregon was doing. So Oregon decided to free slaves because they hated black people. And then you get some of these people over here who get with the offsprings of those folks, like Miss Diane Yap here and others, especially what really makes it worse, though, when the people from the motherland come over here and align themselves with these people, because that does happen. I'm sure there are people who don't and despise that. But again, this is who's getting the stage. So this is what has to be addressed. I know some people have so much of a hard time. You might make it a little easier, but I don't really see many black folks actually addressing this, except for the people who were tagged in this video, along with myself, like Tariq Nasheed. So me and Tariq Nasheed were both tagged in this video. Don't know why a lot of people are not talking about it, but us over here in the new black media. But oh, I know why. Because this goes against the narrative that FBA is a hate group. Damn, look how that works.
All of these outcomes depend largely on behavior and individual choices. When you are repeatedly told that outcomes are unfair because they are racially disproportionate, it is natural to...
No, see, here's the thing. When they do this madness, they act as if we're told white supremacy. No, we live it. We can't fight a fictitious battle. Fighting white supremacy in America is something that has been done for years. Matter of fact, you know, Miss Diane Yap, the very board that you are talking to right now is the evidence of what all that you said not being true. Because there would be no need for civil rights if what you said was absolutely true. So the government has targeted black folks, has targeted black communities, has targeted black generational wealth, and has attacked black health in general, especially mental. To keep a group of people always at dis-ease or always on the edge of struggle is, by clinical definition, disease. Because your body has no opportunity to heal itself because you get no rest. That's by design, Missy. And the government is absolutely responsible.
To resent the beneficiaries of this imagined unfairness.
Oh.
Unfortunately, such a mindset breeds racial resentment and thus anti-Asian hate.
How did fighting white supremacy end up in being anti-Asian hate? How? Somebody want to try that one? How does that happen? Anti-Asian hate by fighting white supremacy. Oh, I got it. So if you identify with the white supremacists, then what you're saying by proxy, because you have a white supremacist mindset, we're hating on Asians. Oh, got it. So that you Chinese are aligned with this. Well, then perhaps you should probably stop using the people of color line, because you are taking on the ideology and the persona and essence and out here speaking for the people of no color.
While the focus of this hearing is anti-Asian hate crimes, any given Asian individual in the U.S., out of a total population of about 18 million, is statistically unlikely to be the victim of a hate crime. On the other hand, anti-Asian discrimination in education figures prominently in the life of every Asian American.
In education? Where? Oh, sorry about that. In education, where? Where is it in education? That makes no sense. So when have we ever been taught to hate anybody Asian? I mean, we're obviously this female is a little young, but if I remember correctly, before the big great phenomenon of white karate movies in America, like the American Ninja, all of those, and Lady Ninja, guess what? We had The Last Dragon. because it was black people who kept those theaters going to the 2-for-1 kung fu theater. That was black people helping the Chinese and Hollywood film industries streams of revenue.
When I was 12, I saw my friend sobbing at school after acceptance letters to Lowell High arrived. She missed the cutoff score for Chinese students by just 1 point.
Here's the one thing they don't show you in these letters. They don't show you that you got beat out by a black person. So right off the rip, she is full of crap. And not only that, this is a speculatory lie. My issue is this: when these other groups, like these dirtbag women like Diane, and she's over here representing a humongous anti-black group in the Manhattan Project, but she gets up there and she hangs with all of these other racists. Remember when they was mad at Kanye West for hanging around that Ruiz dude or whatever his name is? I ain't even pay no attention to that dude. But when they were mad for Nick Fuentes, in which he was also talking to the Pearly woman. And now you got folks making excuses for her. I didn't see that same energy for Kanye West, which is very interesting. But I mean, nonetheless, I mean, this woman is something else, family.
If she had been any other race, she would have gotten in.
Based on what? See, that lie that she's telling right there, that is an absolute, like, I grew up with white supremacists that tell lies like that. That is one of those things they make up in their minds about their own failure. So when they fail, it's a black person's fault. And man, it's that affirmative action.
Selective high schools like Lowell High in San Francisco, the Screen Schools of New York City, and #1 ranked Thomas Jefferson in Virginia are all fighting misguided attempts to make their student bodies match area demographics equity.
As well they should. Because here's the thing that she keeps trying to talk away from. And here's what a lot of people of her ilk do. They act as if they owe nothing to like this. This is built by someone, ma'am. This country didn't just pop out of thin air. These opportunities that you enjoy didn't come from nowhere. The opportunity that you enjoy, a matter of fact, specifically comes from black folk. You understand me? And when black folks open up the door, these people come in with nothing but contempt. And so she's aligned with this.
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.
Yes, very much so. So let's hear some more.
All of these attempts involve degrading or eliminating the consideration of academic proficiency in admissions. Asians bear the brunt of these unconstitutional attempts at racial balancing. Even at Harvard, an Asian applicant with a 25% chance of getting in would have a 95% chance if he were only able to check the African American box instead. Nothing else about him would have to change.
And you say that based on what? See, here's my thing. Why do these commissions allow a racist like this to get up here and start spewing this? You already know she has anti-black views. She should not be here saying such things. And family, if we got up there and started going in front of any kind of commission saying things like this, what would people be saying about us? Oh man, you race baiters. Oh man, you race hustlers and all of this. Why is she not called a race hustler? Why is she not called a race peddler? Here we have a person of color, supposedly. Not really, though. And because she uses that at her convenience, of course. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's what they do. Because that's what dirtbag culture is. So you'll use the opportunity that's given to you and then besmirch the very group of people that you are, that represents the commission that you're talking to, trying to get help for your people.
The role of the government is not and should not be to put the thumb on the scale in order to produce racially proportionate outcomes.
Would Chinese Americans be in the United States of America without it? The ungrateful nature of immigrants is just baffling. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm sure there's somebody out there, well, you just highlighting the wrong thing, man. No, I'm not. This is what you need to be looking at because this is what is in front of you. And if you can't understand that simple concept,
Shuffling and scratching and bootlicking and buck dancing.
We ain't got no time. We don't have the time to listen to anything you got to say.
The goal should not be equal outcomes or equity, but rather equal opportunity.
We don't have that
goal
either.
is to ensure that no one faces discrimination on the basis of race. On the matter of hate crimes, that means better crime prevention generally in the form of increased police presence, surveillance of hotspots, predictive policing, and especially imprisonment of repeat.
Predictive policing? See, did you catch that one? Remember with the brother Ozone, Othell Wallace, who, I believe his birthday is on the 30th. So shout out to brother Othell Wallace. May he get justice and freed and acquitted of all charges for defending his life from a sadistic racist race soldier to whom she is saying, because what did she say? Predictive policing? What he said he was doing was proactive policing. So, yeah, it's the same thing. Go harass black folks, even if they're on their own property at home.
Offenders. On the issue of affirmative action, that means recognizing that such policies discriminate against Asians in favor of objectively less qualified applicants. If you believe that underrepresented groups deserve special help, then you also believe that there are overrepresented groups that deserve to be discriminated.
Fire up the Jet family. I'm telling you, anybody talking like this does not deserve to be here. And you don't understand, ma'am. Your ass don't belong here. Fire up the Jet. This is how I'm feeling about these folks right now, man. Fire up the damn Jet. Get your ass up out of here, you disrespectful piece of crap. Good grief.
Against. These are inextricably linked, and the latter is clearly unconstitutional. If the Supreme Court bans race-based affirmative action, it is the duty of the government to enforce the ban as vigorously as it once enforced Brown v. Board of Education. Thank you.
Miss Yap. So there again, she got up there to talk against black people, reparations, everything that we're fighting for. She got up there to basically talk about black people's issues in the grassroots, talk against reparations, talk against justice, while also talking against the very facts that allow her to be at that podium and on that mic in the first place. This is not how the civil rights work should be honored. And once more, family, I don't want, we got to keep it a buck. That's the white identifying white woman. Let's look at the white identifying African immigrant.
My name is Kofi Monska. I'm an attorney, wife, and mom to 3 boys, 2 of which are in high school. This bill requires that schools teach ethnic studies starting in kindergarten, and I'm against this. You might ask, why in the world would a black person speak against ethnic studies? Because not everything that sounds good is good. The definition of ethnic studies right there in the statute says that there's a connection between a person's race and their stratification. The bill tells kids of color that they are stuck in a caste system based on their race. It also tells kids, and I quote, that institutions chronically favor white people and disadvantage people of color. I'm sick of everyone denying the enormous progress we made in this country, acting like it's 1930. We used to have a race-based system. We got rid of it, and now you're all trying to bring it back. This curriculum will not help kids of color succeed. All it does is remove any reason to try. And I repeat that, it removes any reason to try. And this is not some theoretical crap. This stuff happens. These messages are very harmful. Just last month in my high schoolers band class, the teacher took 20 minutes at the beginning of class to talk about anti-racism. He told the kids to look around. And then he said the black boys in the school would likely not live to retirement because of racism and the police. Another furious kid of color recorded this conversation, and so I was able to hear it for myself with my own ears. If this law is passed, teaching this hopelessness to kids of color will be mandated starting in kindergarten. And I can see why you white proponents of this bill might support it. It's not your kids being told that they can't succeed, and you get to shed some of your white guilt in the process. But you legislators of color, how can you? You made it despite the invisible boogeyman of systematic racism. You were voted in by a majority of white people. You hold some of the most powerful positions in this state. Yet you want to tell my kids and other kids of color that they can't succeed? It's shameful, it's terrible. I ask that you please vote against this bill. Thank you for this opportunity.
There is your conversation. Foundational Black Americans hate immigrants. And why are black folks, why y'all against immigrants? We all the same. And no, the hell we are not. No, we're not. And they ain't looking at us as the same neither. They are coming over here to do just what Dr. Umar said. They'll go right past your black ass. Now, again, this is how they honor the civil rights icons that you are aware of that helped them get to this country to flourish. And they just hit you with a wafting pot of smell of Jollof and say, hey, let me over to Zaddy. And then you look at us like we crazy for calling it out. If you are calling yourself a Pan-Africanist and you are upset that foundational Black Americans are calling this mess out, well then.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Facts. And then, because with this sister right here, y'all be having real big problems when we start hearing some of these people talking off and crazy and ask this question.
Where's your family from?
And see, what some of y'all end up doing is y'all be like, man, none of our icons would have acted like that or behaved like that. Oh, really?
I think you're right there. I would not limit our employment demands to Negroes. I would include Puerto Ricans and other minorities throughout our country, which have been similarly discriminated against, though not for so long a period of time as Negroes.
Puerto Ricans weren't enslaved. Yeah, this is a problem that stems from slavery. And this compensation, this compensation is coming to people who were enslaved by the white man for 400 years. The Puerto Ricans don't even fit into this picture.
Well, they do fit into it.
No,
they do fit into it.
The problem is the Negro problem. They're not lynching Puerto Ricans.
If a dark-skinned Puerto Rican went down to Mississippi, he probably would be lynched too.
Spanish, he wouldn't be lynched.
No, they don't.
It's the Negro here, and as long as he can speak Spanish or some other language, or if he ties his head up with a turban or something, he can go anywhere in Mississippi or in your home that he desires.
You're not aware of the fact, are you, that African students have been arrested in our demonstrations in the South?
When they
speak French.
When they have been mistaken for the so-called Negro in America, they've been arrested.
What I'm saying is.
Now, what I want to say about that particular clip, notice that Malcolm X was never against any other black group. He was never really against any black leaders. He was against the black leaders that worked against progress, just like that man that he was talking to. Because, see, not convoluting our interests does not relate to being hateful. Because see, look at what Malcolm X was doing. He said, this issue, see, dealing with the issue, it stems from the harm done to one group. Other groups don't fit into that picture, i.e., there is no we all are one here. And what the we are all one crap has done to a lot of your psyches is you can't take one step forward for yourself without bringing someone else along. Because, see, once they got people like Malcolm X out of the way, then the people like that dude and the Bayard Rustins of the world, they started saturating you with nonsense. And then when people like us combat that nonsense and say it is wrong, y'all get upset and y'all get mad. Well, always remember this.
The white man broke every law in the state and federal penal code system in order to establish every state in the United States.
And that's a fact. Don't ever lose sight of that. But one video that I want to play again, especially for you scam Africanists.
The things that African Americans will do.
It's crazy to me that people who rely on Black American culture for their success and popularity continue to denigrate Black Americans. Burna Boy's biggest song, Last Last, is a sample of a Toni Braxton R&B song. I am Grenadian. I also don't know where my African ancestors come from, but we don't do this to people from the Caribbean because we understand that the Black slaves that got dropped off in Grenada created a culture of their own. And the Black slaves that came to America, that were brought to America, did the exact same thing. And that's the culture that have been passed on for generations through Black Americans. And this is why Black Americans are so frustrated, because we continue to do this in the diaspora. I am not Black American and I am tired.
How much worse are those who are not even immigrants who do that? Man, we promoting divisiveness on the internet. Oh, man, like she said, every other group, and you're taking from our culture for us to stand up. Y'all are acting as if it is a problem. Let me tell you something. I don't give a shit how Black-centric you act. If you move against the interest of empowerment, you are a coon. You could be as Black and put your fists up and wear all the Black garb you want to. But if you're not dealing in truth, all you are is a falsehood with breath. Go ahead and find the deeper meaning of that falsehood with breath. There's another word for it. Because you have become the same as what you say you despise. And that is, you have become the liar. These people aren't your friends. These people are absolutely against your interests. And to be your own group makes sense to everybody else except for y'all Black asses. You are the weakest link. Stop cooning under the guise of pro-Blackness. This will not last long for y'all. The show is over. Scam Africanists, time's up. It is time to put up or shut the fuck up. Can't put this on nobody. Put it on yourself and let's talk about the realities of it, or shut your ranting asses up. Well, this person ain't that. This person ain't this. Well, I can tell you what you not. You're not a person about the people. You're a person against the people while using the guise of, I care about our folks. Reparations over all else. Damn your beefs and your personal problems with individuals. Get on code and let's get this check and everything that we are owed. If you cannot understand that, then something is grossly wrong with you. And this is usually how it turns out.
Every time I have always played the fool.
And then this takes place. So before you get yourself confused, remember what the point and objective out here truly is. And stop looking at other black people as the problem, please, because unless you're looking at immigrants, because they're coming here. And here's proof of an immigrant. I know none of y'all will address it, but here's two immigrants that showed you how anti-black they truly are. And so what are they serving? White supremacy. Black people, scam Africanists, Pan-Africanists, whatever the hell you want to call yourselves, remember the agenda.
We put it in the frame of reference. Everyone, when they talk about racism and white supremacy, should always start by saying that the focus, the objective should be replace white supremacy with justice. Those are the 5 basic words.
Facts. Thank you, Mr. Fuller. So with that being said, family, I just want to know what you guys think about this particular video. Please give a comment down below. Whether you agree or disagree, just let us know. That is fine. Also, we will be in Twitter space today. So make sure that you come over to Twitter after this broadcast. We will be going 1 p.m. and Pacific time. So, and the question is immigration anti-black? Is it anti-FBA? I believe it is. And as you see, we have these anti-black immigrants coming over here with disdain and vitriol for us. We have to call it out because you don't fix problems that you don't identify. And for anyone who does not see this as a problem is an enemy. Simple as that. So with that being said, like and share this video. And if you need to follow me, you can definitely do so at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And of course, if you want to support this channel, support the broadcasts that come out of this channel, you can do so by way of donations. And all contributions are mostly greatly appreciated. Thank you. Peace, power, blessings, and protection up on all of you and yours. And so you can do so at CashApp, $beatzillapdx, and also at PayPal at Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. So please like and share this video. Go subscribe if you have not already. Hit the notification bell, hit the word all. And if you also want to, you can become a member of the channel too. So make sure you do that, but also make sure, again, like I said, catch the certified truth on Twitter Spaces today. Is immigration anti-foundational Black American? Let me know. Let us know. We need to know. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, I will talk to you guys later on this afternoon. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours. And damn all the haters. Stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first. Shalom, y'all.